Good afternoon. Israel said it has carried out airstrikes in southern Gaza after accusing Hamas of blatantly violating the ceasefire by attacking the IDF beyond the so-called Yellow Line. Hamas officials said they are committed to the ceasefire agreement. It comes after the militants handed over 2 more bodies of hostages as Israel pushed back the reopening of the Rafah crossing until all of the remains are brought back.
The remnants of the war are everywhere in Gaza City. Palestinians have been returning to the devastated areas amid reports of further violence. The Israeli military has conducted airstrikes in Rafah, accusing Hamas of attacking the IDF with grenades and sniper fire beyond the so-called Yellow Line, to which Israel withdrew its forces under the ceasefire terms. This reported escalation comes just hours after the US State Department said Hamas is planning an imminent attack on Palestinian civilians. The militant group has strongly denied the report, saying they are committed to the ceasefire. Tensions are rising as Hamas continues its search for the bodies of Israeli hostages in various locations in Gaza. Last night, 2 more deceased captives were handed over to Israel. They were identified as citizens of Israel and Thailand. Israel's Prime Minister, seen here at today's cabinet meeting, said the Rafah crossing in southern Gaza won't reopen until all of the remaining bodies are handed over. Rafah is a key gateway for Palestinians who need medical treatment abroad and those who want to return home from Egypt. Meanwhile, international humanitarian groups continue their work in the Strip, ramping up aid delivery and taking on the mammoth task of clearing up millions of tons of debris. Tanya Royd, RT News.
In the final weekend of campaigning in the presidential election, the issue of independent candidate Catherine Connolly's previous work as a barrister where she represented banks has been raised again by Fine Gael and its candidate, Heather Humphreys. Well, Fiachra O'Kiana of our political staff joins us now. Fiachra, what's been said about this issue this weekend?
Yeah, well, the gloves really are coming off this weekend in the last few days of the presidential campaign, Kate. And in the Sunday Independent, as you said, Heather Humphreys has brought up the repossessions question of Catherine Connolly in her previous work as a barrister again. And Heather Humphreys specifically said that before she entered politics, she was a credit union manager. But before Catherine Connolly entered politics, and these are the exact words of Heather Humphreys in the Sunday Independent today, that Catherine Connolly was working for UK banks to repossess Irish homes. Now, that is an issue that Helen McEntee, the Education Minister, has also waded into in the past hour or so. She's released a statement asking a number of questions on that repossessions issue and specifically saying how many repossessions were involved, how many family homes in Ireland were involved, and how much money Catherine Connolly received for her work as a barrister at that time. Now, Catherine Connolly, for her own side of things, has been speaking with her colleague Pascal Sheehy in the past hour, and she's described these comments as a new low in the campaign. Her team have also been very clear, and again referencing the CAB rule for barristers, so basically allowing equal access for representation on cases. Now, separately today, the Taoiseach and Fianna Fáil leader Micheál Martin, he's been speaking at the Wolf Tone commemoration in Bodenstown in County Kildare, and he hasn't specifically referenced Catherine Connolly, but he has had a thinly veiled remark about the need for a pro-European leader as president.
The neutrality which Eamon de Valera and Fianna Fáil introduced as a cornerstone of our international policies is as important as ever. But our commitment to being neutral is not a commitment to being defenceless in the face of aggression, and it is not a commitment to try and block other countries from investing in their critical defences. Yet that is exactly the demand which we hear from those who have spent the last 50 years constantly attacking the European Union and calling it a military superstate obsessed with war. This is a reminder that we also have to stand up against the corrosive and cynical Euroscepticism of those who pretend to be pro-European Union, but in practice invest all of their energy in attacking the Union.
Now, we can expect more of these confrontational comments and confrontation issues being raised in the final days of the presidential campaign. Of course, there is the primetime debate on Tuesday, which is the final debate of this campaign as well. But voters will be the ones who decide on Friday at the ballot box.
Fiachra O'Kiana, thank you. thieves broke into the Louvre Museum in Paris through a window, stealing priceless items of jewellery before escaping on motorbikes, according to the French government. The thieves struck at about 9:30 a.m. when the museum had already opened its doors to the public and entered a building which is home to the French crown jewels, according to a statement from the Interior Ministry. It's been reported that the theft was from the Napoleon collection, but the statement did not say exactly what had been taken. And that's Sunday's Lunchtime News. From all the team, bye for now.